this data visualization, we can split all the fundamental particles in the universe into exactly two categories, fermions on one side and bosons on the other. Half of the universe is made of bosons, yet the scientist who gave them that name is entirely absent from the Nobel roster. The word comes from Satyendranath Bose. He was nominated for the prize 4 separate times, but the committee never selected him. To understand why the man who named half the universe was erased from its biggest stage, we have to leave the modern European scientific elite and look at 1920s colonial India. Bose grew up in Calcutta, largely teaching himself higher mathematics. Before he even turned 30, he and his colleague Meghnad Saha produced the first English translations of Albert Einstein's complex relativity papers. His intellect was undeniable. As a student, a math teacher famously awarded him a score of 110 out of 100 on an exam, simply because Bose solved the problems using multiple distinct mathematically rigorous methods. By 1921, he took a position teaching physics at the newly formed University of Dhaka. This isolation from those elite academic circles allowed him to discard the classical rulebook entirely. He approached the equations with a completely blank slate. Bose realized the rules of our everyday world do not apply at the quantum scale. Particles of light, called photons, cannot be tracked as distinct objects like everyday coins. He used this concept of indistinguishability to build a completely new statistical method based on collective states. He wrote a short paper detailing the math and submitted it to the major European scientific journals. The scientific gatekeepers rejected it. In 1924, Bose refused to let his work die in a filing cabinet. He bypassed the journals entirely, put his rejected manuscript in an envelope, and mailed it directly to Albert Einstein in Berlin. Einstein read it and immediately recognized the genius of the math. He personally translated the paper into German, submitted it for publication on Bose's behalf, and expanded the theory so it applied to material atoms. Years later, the British physicist Paul Dirac officially coined the term bosons to classify all fundamental particles that follow these new rules, which are now known as Bose-Einstein statistics. The breakthrough earned Bose an invitation to Europe. He spent 2 years working in crystallography laboratories alongside legends like Marie Curie, but he declined to chase international fame and returned home to India. He spent his post-independence years as a nation builder. He championed science education in his native Bengali, built up local research infrastructure, and spent his quiet hours playing the esraj, a traditional stringed instrument. He never required a formal PhD and remained deeply humble about his achievements. He viewed science as a collective human endeavor, refusing to patent his inventions so he could freely share his designs with other researchers. The Nobel Committee may have snubbed him, but the universe of physics relies on his work. Today, the massive detectors at facilities like CERN are actively searching for particles governed by his exact equations. As long as there is light in the universe, there will be bosons everywhere. Satyendranath Bose didn't just discover a rule of physics. He defined a class of matter that makes his name as permanent as light itself.